The Donald Trump presidential campaign is completely unraveling. Chris Matthews on MSNBC asked Donald Trump about abortion, and Donald Trump said that women should face some kind of punishment if they have abortions. This is crazy. Donald Trump, his inexperience just so evident here. I will play the clip for you. I have so many thoughts on this. Let's take a listen.
Be punished for having an abortion?
Look,
this is not something you can dodge. If you say
it's
abortion is a crime or abortion is murder, you have to deal with it under the law. Should abortion be punished?
Well, people in certain parts of the Republican Party and conservative Republicans would say yes, they should be punished.
How about you?
I would say that it's a very serious problem, and it's a problem that we have to decide on. It's very hard.
But you're
are you
forbidding
going to
it.
say, well, wait, are you going to say put them in jail? Is that
Well,
the
no, what I'm
punishment that
asking
you're
you,
talking about?
because you say you want to ban it. What's that mean?
I am pro-life, yes.
What is ban? How do you ban abortion? How do you actually do it?
Well, you know, you'll go back to a position like they had where people will perhaps go to illegal places.
Yeah.
But you have to ban it.
You ban it and they go to somebody who flunked out of medical school.
Are you Catholic?
Yes, I think
And how do you feel about the Catholic Church's position?
I accept the teaching authority of my church on moral issues.
But do you know their position on abortion?
Yes, I do.
And do you concur with that position?
I concur with their moral position, but legally I get to the question. Here's my problem with it.
No, but let me ask you, but what do you say about
It's not funny.
Your church? Yeah, it's really not a funny thing. What do you say about your church? They're very, very strong.
They're allowed to, but the churches make their moral judgments, but you running for president of the United States will be chief executive of the United States. Do you believe believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
10 cents, 10 years,
I don't
what?
know. That I don't know. That
Why
I don't
not?
know. I don't know.
You take
because
positions on everything else.
Frankly, I do take positions on everything else. It's a very complicated position.
This is Trump's fundamental inexperience, thinking about these issues, knowing about them, and talking about them. And Ted Cruz's rapid response director tweeted, "Don't overthink it. Trump doesn't understand the pro-life position because he's not pro-life." That is probably part of it, which is that Donald Trump has been pro-choice his entire life, and all of a sudden now he's pro-life, and the Bible is his second favorite book after only the book he wrote, Art of the Deal, etc. But part of this was just inexperience and lack of preparation with questions like those that Chris Matthews asked. Somebody should have sat him down and said, "Listen, Donald, Chris Matthews is going to start giving you the rapid fire questions. And when that happens, if you match his pacing, you'll likely say something really stupid. So what you do is you let Chris Matthews go question after question, and you slow the pace down, right? It's just you have to know this and be prepared for it as someone who's going to be interviewed. And you say, hold on a second, Chris, let's think this through piece by piece. And you change the pacing. And because Trump didn't do that, he ended up saying something utterly insane, which he then had to walk back 2 hours later. And the other thing is, he was baited by Chris Matthews. Chris Matthews came up with something insanely extreme, right? Even within the extremes of the Republican Party, of the anti-choice right, they rarely say you punish the woman who has the abortion. You say, no, the woman is the victim and the unborn fetus is the victim, but you punish whoever is doing the abortion. And yes, if it's like a so-called coat hanger abortion, self-inflicted, whatever, sometimes you'll get a Republican who says the woman should be punished. But that's like an extreme view. And Trump, in his inexperience, hears that question dropped from Chris Matthews and says, well, if I'm being asked about it, there must be some legitimacy to that. And this infuriated, obviously, all progressives, but a lot of Republicans and right-wingers also because of its insanity.
What I found really funny about this is at one point Trump starts interviewing Chris Matthews.
He tried to turn it around.
And for some reason, he's answering the questions.
Yeah.
But would people be offended if Trump said, I think there should be a $10 fine for women who have abortions? It's kind of gotcha journalism here on the part of Chris Matthews.
Oh, I disagree. I disagree
but
completely.
It's not. I mean, we know what Chris Matthews was trying to do. He
It
got what he wanted.
exposes that Trump doesn't know the boundaries of the debate, right?
Yes.
This is outside of the normal boundaries. Yeah, punish women who have abortions. This exploded instantly. Trump had to backtrack. He offered a completely opposite position within 2 hours, claiming that his position hadn't changed. Here's the statement put out by the Trump campaign, where he said, if Congress were to pass legislation making abortion illegal, and the federal courts upheld this legislation or any state were permitted to ban abortion under state and federal law, the doctor or any other person performing this illegal act upon a woman would be held legally responsible, not the woman. The woman is a victim in this case, as is the life in her womb. My position has not changed. Like Ronald Reagan, I am pro-life with exceptions. So disaster, absolute disaster for the Trump campaign. I don't think we need to read into this that much. Trump is really clueless on this. His positions are concocted and fabricated. He doesn't know the reasonable boundaries of the debate and what the different positions are. And meanwhile, he has gone from being 2 points up in the upcoming primary state of Wisconsin to being 10 points down. So things looking increasingly challenging for Trump. I do not believe he will have the delegates needed to secure this nomination before the convention. Just not going to happen.
If we keep seeing things like this, definitely not.
Today's program is sponsored by Harry's Razors. You've probably heard me over the years talk about my different trials and tribulations with the act of shaving. And, this is everything from the cuts and the rusty razors and the entire thing, not to mention going out in public with the little bits of toilet paper stuck to my face. And I've been using Harry's Razors for a little while now, and it's the smoothest shaving experience that I've had. And I would encourage you to try their starter set. No reason to pay over $30 for a handful of blades like some people do. For $15, you can get the starter set, which includes a razor, a package of 3 blades, and the moisturizing shave cream. And if you use my code, Pakman, P-A-K-M-A-N, you'll get $5 off of your first order. So go to harrys.com, use the code Pakman, and get $5 off your first order.